Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Griffin Show, a podcast with young entrepreneurs about startups, businesses, technology, and student life. Our today's guest is Jaideep Parashar, CEO of Startup Griffin, a best selling author, and a business researcher. From this episode, we kick off the startup building series. That is everything you need to know about startups. How to get started, what are the things you need to know before starting a startup, how to manage your college and a startup if you're a student, and much more. I'm sure this series will help you get all your doubts cleared about startups. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get started in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, Jaideep, to the second episode of the Griffin Show. How was the first episode?
Thank you, Sohail, for inviting me again. And the first show was good, but I was not happy with a few things: the voice quality, the audio quality, and the way I was sitting in the last show, because I had no idea how I was looking at the camera. So my body posture was not perfect.
Yeah, let's
But
fix those.
otherwise, we have shared really good knowledge about artificial intelligence.
That was a very good podcast about artificial intelligence. There were some problems regarding the video, but let's fix those here, Jaideep. So, welcome to the second episode. So, today we are going to speak about the startup culture, especially in India, because we have seen in past 1 or 2 years there have been a lot of talk about startups, a lot of boom about startups, especially after the Shark Tank India has been aired. So many people wanted to start a new startup, want to gain knowledge about how to start a startup, what is a startup, and everything regarding startup. So many myths we are going to bust today. So stay tuned. Yeah, welcome, Jaideep. Let's speak about startups in India. So let us get started by me asking you the basic meaning of a startup. What is a startup, and why is it trending these days? What is the difference between a startup and a business? Mm, yes.
So, well, startup is basically is a business model. Okay, when you start a business from the ground level, from that zero level, you call it a startup because you are just starting up. There are many forms, like you sometimes you heard these words like organization, conglomerate, MNCs, right? Or umbrella organizations, right? Out of all these all are business models, but when you start something from the ground level, you call it a startup. Like, let's say we have aim of making some pens, right?
Mm,
And we start making these pens. We have a very small team, we have limited resources, we are just building it from, let's say, a tier 2 city or tier 3 city, right? Then we call it startup. But after a stage when it reaches to multi countries and reaches to employees like 10,000, 20,000 something, then you call it like organizations, conglomerate, or big business. Until then, you keep on calling it a startup, right? In last couple of years, let's say since 2019-20, India is seeing lots of boom in the startup culture, especially after Shark Tank. There are so many criticism of Shark Tank these days. You can see on social media. But one thing that is really good about startup Shark Tank is they have given much reputations to startups. They have made it a like a common word in Indian culture and society. Okay. I'm really passionate about what we can do in the startup world, or whatever is happening in India. Especially, it's coming up with so many opportunities in every skills. Like I have clients. Some are in corporate, some are doing some form of organic work. There are employees. There are clients who are just doing their own shows. They are doing teachings in finance, and these all are forms of startups, right? So
mm.
this is one of the most amazing topic I can talk about, because I have also built two of my startups.
Yeah, amazing. My second question is, if I want to start a startup, what is the primary thing I need to have in my mind? What are the different skills I need to have, and how to find an idea in the society? How to find a problem which can be turned into a startup eventually? Speak about this.
Okay, startup is literally a basic form of a business. Let's say you want to solve a problem, you want to create something new, that can be your business. right? Let's say you want to start your own startup. Are you facing any type of problem in your environment, in your society, in your culture, which you want to solve? That can be your business idea. The next thing is, can you provide a solution for this problem? If yes, you are on the right track. And are people going to pay for this idea, pay for this solution? If yes, this can be your startup,
Mm-hmm.
right? Let's me talk about one of my how I started my first startup. In 2020, I hired a company to promote my Instagram account.
Okay.
Okay, and I paid to them. I paid for their service, but were no results. What they were doing, they were lacking in ethics. They were lacking in values.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Maybe they have put in the efforts, but they were lacking in ethics. So what we did, I decided that I'm going to start a startup. I'm going to work in the field of marketing that will surely work on the basis of ethics and values.
Mm.
That was my first startup. How I started my second startup, that is startup Griffin.
Yes.
We were facing a problem, that's how to get the right people to build your startups, how to get the right co-founders, right? And
Yeah.
that became the form of a startup.
Mm.
Even if you want to make 10 pens, you are facing a problem because it's not good in writing, you are not comfortable to write for long hours, that can be your startups. Anything can be your business idea. All you have to figure out, what problem are you solving? Can you provide the solution for it? And is it profitable solution? If yes, you can go ahead with this idea. Let me talk about some of the key problems which you are facing in the society these days. One is climate issues. The other is unemployment.
Mm.
The next is providing the infrastructure in the tier 2 or tier 3 city. Anything can be your next business idea.
Mm.
Or if we talk about countries where the roads are not good, okay, then
Mm.
we can have a startup which take care of the roads, right? Anything can be your startup, but all you have to find out, are you passionate about this idea?
Mm.
Ideas are everywhere. If you
Mm.
are going to click in just a few clicks, you can find 10,000 ideas on internet. But are you really passionate about these ideas?
Mm.
If you are not passionate about this idea, you are going to be frustrated down the line. You are going to be out of energy, or you are going to be burnout. So when you select an idea, first look, is this idea going to solve a problem? Yes. Are you really passionate about this idea? If yes, then consider these ideas for your startup model. Until you are not passionate, don't go for it. Maybe this idea is profitable. Maybe this idea can give you lots of respect, reputation. Okay, are you passionate about it? If yes, just go ahead. If not, then don't try it, because down the line you have to face recessions, you have to face economical conditions,
Mm.
you have to face disruptions, technical problems, business model problems. Your co-founders are not supporting you, or you are out of energy, you are out of health. Are you going to work on these ideas?
Mm.
If you are so much passionate that no matter what happens outside, I'm going to work on my idea, then that's the right idea for you. Let me share one part of my story that made who I am today. One day, I was working on my laptop, and my mother came in my office and she said, "Your brother is literally ill, and you have to rush to hospital." I said, "Okay." The first thing I did, I met my brother and I said, "I will be back in some minute," because I was preparing to take my brother. And the moment I came home, my mother said he went to the hospital with his friends. Okay.
Mm.
So I was just waiting in my home for the next instruction. Should I visit hospital, or are they coming back after the initial checkup? I found that my two nephews have the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So in the same day, my real brother is in one hospital, and my two nephews are in the other hospital, and all were admitted. On the same day, three family members were admitted. I was running between the hospitals. And when I was running between the hospitals, I was getting calls. Sir, what about this work? What about that work? What about business model? What about that thing? I had to manage everything, even when my 5-year-old nephew was in hospital.
Mhm.
Okay. And then a doctor said, your both nephews had to be admitted in the hospital for maybe 10 days. For 10 days, my nephews were in hospital, and I never missed even a single call, single meeting, single networking schedule, single post. I kept on doing from my with my laptop and just 3G network from the hospital. Do you have that much passion for your idea? If yes, I don't care whether you have resources or you don't, you will be successful one day.
Mhm.
In those days, mm, I attended all my work, and I even tried to overtake one business. That was not a success because that guy was not ready to sell the business. But I attended all the call, all the meetings, even when my nephews were in hospital.
Right.
To make a business is not for everyone. You have to be hard bound. You have to be built for business. Then and only then you can do that.
Hmm.
When we were building startup Griffin, we started building startup Griffin, I think 2022 beginning, right? And
Yeah.
it took 6 months to launch the website, right?
Yes.
For 6 months, we were sitting at the same place and doing the same thing without any hope whether it's going to be successful or not. But we kept on doing it because we were really passionate about the idea.
Hmm.
The only resource that you need to build a startup, are you passionate about it? If yes, go ahead with the idea. If no, just leave the idea. Otherwise, you will be in trouble.
Hmm.
When I talk to founders, co-founders, and business person these days, I get lots of call. I talk to lots of people. They
Yes.
share all sort of problems: how to talk to family, how to talk to relatives, how to make my wife understand about my idea, how to make my husband understand about my idea. And when your own family members are not supporting you or they don't believe in the idea, how are you going to make the outer world understand your idea? Until you believe in the idea, don't go with the idea. Look for the next idea. If that idea is not your calling, go for the next idea. If that idea is not your calling, go to the next idea. In 2022, I got literally 10, 12 pitches by different people. Hey, do you want to join my startups to be the co-founder? They were offering me equity. They
Mm-hmm.
were offering me business. They were offering me the title. They were offering me the position.
Hmm.
All those ideas were good. Let me tell you something. All those ideas were good,
Okay.
but I was not passionate about those ideas,
Hmm.
and I left all those options.
Okay.
Until it's your calling, don't go with in the idea in the business, because one day down the line you have to face your competition as well.
Hmm.
And then there will be a situation when you have multiple competition from almost all sides. And yeah, you don't believe in the idea, how are you going to face that competition?
Hmm.
So the key requirements is find a problem and find the solution for it. Then give yourself 1 week, 2 week, or maybe 1 month.
Hmm.
But literally ask yourself, not your family, not your relatives, not your friends, not your mentor, not your coach, not your network.
Hmm.
Ask yourself, do you believe in this idea? If yes, this idea is going to change your life. If you don't believe in the idea, just leave it and move to the next idea, because there is no lack of ideas in this world.
Okay. A very insightful answer, Jaideep. It went a little emotional. Cool. But
Because one day you have to face rejections as well. You have to face criticism as well. People are going to call you gold digger as well. People are going to reject your idea. People
hmm.
are going to call you that your idea is not perfect. People are going to criticize your opinion. People are going to criticize your thoughts. And if you don't believe in that, how are you going to survive over there?
Hmm.
Every day you are going to get just one appreciation, and for one appreciation you have to face 10 or 20 rejection.
Hmm.
If you don't have the calling for the idea, how are you going to survive that much of rejection? Or are you going to looking for new motivation every day? If let's say I'm working on this pen, No one believe in this pen, and this pen is also not my calling. Am I going to look for motivation every day? If I'm going to look for motivation every day, how I'm going to make it successful? For every one appreciation which you are going to receive for your startup building, you are going to face 10 rejections as well.
Mm.
Until it's your own calling, or you are doing it for any other reason, you
Mm.
will not be passionate about it. You are going to run out of energy someday.
Mm. So the main thing to build any startup is the passion and dedication.
Yeah, it's passion and dedication.
Right.
If even if you want to make pickle, right? There is a founder who called me. They want to make pickles based on organic products, and then they want to make organic food supplements.
Mm.
This is a good idea because this guy has lived these things for throughout his life. He was living in mountains. Okay, so he has seen those herbs, those organic farming, agriculture throughout his life. He feels passionate about it. This idea is profitable, right? But should I go in this idea? No, because I'm not passionate about those things. I'm passionate about technology. Maybe you are passionate about business. Maybe you are passionate about um, marketing. Maybe you are passionate about automobiles.
Mm.
If you are passionate about automobiles, look into automobile sector.
Exactly. Mm. Right. Amazing insights, Jaideep. So the next step. Now I have a proper idea. I have all the dedication and passion towards what I'm working for. But it is not possible for me to work individually on any idea. So I need one person to support me. We call him a co-founder. How do you actually find a co-founder in this very wide world? Um,
Okay,
Speak about how to get a perfect
first
co-founder. What qualities you actually see in a co-founder if you're the one who is initiating the idea and searching for other one.
first of all, when you go for a business, it's really good to have the right founder with you. But
Hmm.
it can be horrible as well if you have a person but who don't trust you or don't believe in you,
Hmm.
right? So when you come up with your idea, the first thing you have to look for what you need to build this business. Make a list of all the resources that you need. Co-founder is your resource, team is your resource,
Hmm.
right? Infrastructure or website or portal or domain or technologies or HR, whatever you need. Make a list of all those things.
Hmm.
When you make that list, make what type of resources do you need? Are you looking for a co-founder? What type of co-founder do you need? What should be the educational qualification?
Hmm.
What should be the experience level? What are we expecting from this co-founder? Are we expecting tech work? Are we expecting HR work? Are we expecting marketing work? Are we expecting product work? What are our expectations? Make a proper list of it. Then look for the ideas. What are we ready to offer to this co-founder?
Hmm.
Title, position, equity, salary, profit sharing, all those things.
Hmm.
When you are totally ready with your list,
Hmm.
then start looking for the person. Until you don't know what are you looking for, how are you going to find that? The biggest problem with people these days is they want co-founder, they want immediately, they don't want to pay anything to that co-founder.
Yeah.
and, and they want all the qualities in the co-founder. So why someone is going to work on your idea which you have started and they
Hmm.
are not getting anything?
Hmm.
Why they are going to work in your idea? So look for try to make it a win-win situation.
Hmm.
When I look for my co-founder, I asked only one thing, and that's values. I never asked for education, qualification, experience, nothing. I asked only one thing, the values. And my first co-founder, she is literally amazing. She has worked a lot for me. She has worked a lot for the company. She has made the change in the company. And all I was expecting the values. And she has given more than that.
Hmm.
There are people who make list of 10,000 things that they want in their co-founder. I always look for only one thing. What are
Hmm.
your values? Do you believe in idea? Yes. Are you ready to work on this idea? Yes. Will we be together in ups and downs? If yes, let's work.
Right.
Moral commitment are bigger commitment as compared to written or legal commitments.
Hmm.
If your co-founder don't believe in your idea, please find someone who believes in your idea. If the person believes in your idea, that's going to make the whole a lot change. All you need is just one person to build a startup. All you need is just one person who believe in the idea,
Hmm.
nothing else. Let me give one example. um, I was doing research for a long time,
Hmm.
and this guy kept on calling me, sir, why don't you write discussion paper, why don't you write discussion paper? And I was not writing discussion paper just because I never had enough time.
Oh, just a second. I would like to interrupt here. What is a discussion paper?
A discussion paper is, let's say you have done a lots of research on one particular topic,
Mm-hmm.
you have studied a lot about the one particular topic, and now you are framing, you are adding more information or you are adding more observations. So for the audience sake, this is discussion paper. But what is more important, most important point here, this guy believed that I'm going to write amazing discussion papers. It's a
Okay.
form of a research, it's a form of research paper. This guy kept on believing in this one thing, that when Jaideep is going to write the discussion paper, he's going to write one of the most amazing discussion paper.
Hmm.
And just because of his faith and his persistence, I started writing discussion papers. So
Hmm.
do I need 10,000 people to believe in my idea? No. If just one person believe in your idea, and this one person is standing with you in all your ups and downs, and
Hmm.
this person has commitment to be around you no matter what failure or losses or troubles, all you need this person, nothing else.
Okay, cool. Now we have find a very good co-founder now. Yeah, that very good insight, Jaideep.
This way we can make our startup unicorn in another 5-7 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of unicorns, now I have found a very good business idea. I have found a very good co-founder who is hardworking just like me. What after that? After I found a co-founder, I start working upon the idea. I build an MVP, the minimum valuable product. How to start the marketing? How to let people know that you're doing something, and how to add value in your product, and also in other people's hearts about your
first
product.
when you have the idea and you have the right person or right team, then you have to look for the solution. There are 10 solutions available for a particular problem, but which is more appropriate, which is more profitable,
Hmm.
and the usability. Let's say we make a pen, and this pen is one of the most amazing pen, but there is so much difficulty in using it. Are
Hmm.
people going to buy it? No.
No.
Or these pens don't look good with your personality, people are not going to buy it.
Hmm.
You can have 10 different solutions for one particular idea, but out of 10 solutions, which one is the appropriate solution?
Hmm.
One idea which is really appropriate in India, let's say, it's not going to work somewhere in Africa.
Hmm.
Or let's say, let's go deeper in India. One idea which is really good in North India, maybe not going to work in South India, for the
Hmm.
change of requirements, change of financial constraints, change of family budgets, and people's preference and choices,
Hmm.
right? So before moving to the your MVP, just focus on what should be your ideal solution. Are people going to pay for it?
Hmm.
Okay. Earlier there were, if we talk about 1980s, there were computers, right?
Hmm.
But they were using size, they were looking for much space, they were consuming much electricity. So only a few hundred people were using computer in those days. Then
Hmm.
it became sophisticated, then it became really easy to use, and now it's very compact in size. The whole world is using the computer.
Right.
Your solution must go through three parameters: one, usability; availability; affordability. Until your solution is affordable, available, and usable, you have not created a solution. So before you rush to MVP, because when you start a startup, you feel pressure, and you feel pressure of lack of money, and you feel pressure of getting success early, right? You
Yeah.
forget about all these things, and you
Hmm.
rush for MVP. I get call from people, Jaideep, I have got this idea. I said, okay, when you got this idea? I got this idea in morning. So what you want now? Jaideep, I want to make my MVP by the evening. Are you sure? Are you sure?
Mm.
That's not that's not how business is going to work.
Mm.
If your idea is not usable, or it's very complicated, or it's a threat in a way, no one is going to use it. Or let's say it's not easily available, or it's not affordable.
Mm.
Let's say I make a pen which is really amazing pen, but it costs $20,000. Who is going to buy that pen?
Yeah.
No,
Mm.
there are Airbus to travel, but how many people can afford Airbus? How many people can afford business class,
Mm.
economic class? A lot, not much, right? So what you have to do? Make it. You have to make it affordable as well.
Mm.
So don't rush for your MVP. Just work on these basic things first. If let's say someone sell your business model to you, are you going to buy in that price?
Mm.
If
No,
no, then why others are going to buy it?
exactly.
If
Mm.
I give the exact solution which you are selling, I am going to sell to you in the same price range with the same features. Are you going to buy it? If yes, okay. But if you are saying no, I'm not going to buy in that much price, why others are going to buy it?
Exactly. Okay. Interesting. Awesome insights, Jaideep. Thank you for that. And I'm sure this is not the end of the discussion. Many more topics are there to cover because building a startup is a wide topic. So we'll be back with another episode speaking about much more things and busting much more myths about startup building. And that's all for this episode. Thank you very much for joining, Jaideep. Let us meet again for the second episode very soon. Thank you. And be sure
Thank you
to
so much.
subscribe to the Griffin
Thank you,
Show.
Sohail, for calling. And don't forget to subscribe from the next of this episode and onward. We are going to say this thing in the beginning to all my viewers that please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Those who want to build their startups, they can visit to our website www.startupgriffin.com. We have one of the most amazing content to build your startup, and we have made it available free for all of you. We have taken even the last excuse from you when you say that I can't build a startup because I have these reasons. I have taken all the reasons from you. The resource is available for free of cost. And if you are a student and you want to go into deeper, then we have a book as well on startup building. We are going to provide you the link in the description box. You can buy the books from there. And if you want templates to work more deeply on startup building, please visit our website and you will get your templates as well. Till the next episode, thank you so much. Thank you for calling me.
Yes,
Have a
Jaideep.
great day.
My pleasure to talk to you again.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, then be sure to like this video and share this video with your friends. To get more information about startup building, visit startupgriffin.com where we have 20 plus modules about how to start a startup completely free of cost. Subscribe to The Griffin Show to not miss any upcoming episodes. Until then, peace out.